Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
People haven't come yet.
You are so prompt, Deepakanandji.
What?
I said you are so prompt. Rani is out of town. I don't know whether she can join. She said she'll try.
Where does she keep going around? Today's
Her
Sunday.
I know, but she went to New York to see some friends. She's taking a little vacation.
Fine. It's okay.
Lata's joined.
Yeah. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
You know, Lata is my bhabi.
Ah. So together we can do good satsang.
Right.
Very true. Very true.
Okay, we start with three mantra. Lata, can you just follow three mantra? Just a moment. Okay. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajrayanam.
Namo Vajrayanam.
Namo Loe Savasahanam.
Namo Dove Savasahunam.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Savapava Pranachanam.
Savapava Pranasanam.
Mangalanam Chasavesim.
Mangalanam cha Savesam.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Lataji, can you reflect on your last week experience of the first 2 hours, please? Further.
It was very nice the way Pulinanandji put it last week. So earlier I was thinking whosoever, whenever I remembered, I did it, not otherwise. This week was a different experience altogether, because whosoever I saw, I met so many people. I was at the airports and I was at public places, and I was looking at it. Initially looked like, everybody giving me a smile. I mean, looked like everybody is happy, that's one. And the thing is, like at the end of it, I felt very good. Felt very happy. And normally what we say, it made my day.
Right. So you were able to see pure soul in there?
Yes, because like even if I just looked at the person and not really realizing it's a pure soul, I mean, that thought when it doesn't come, it kind of, goes back. It's just, I go back and say, hey, pure soul. Like, I mean, how can I forget that, that keeps coming back, and it's sort of slowly getting to me as a second nature. And I keep pulling it back and saying that, okay, it was a very nice exercise. I have to say that. It was a very nice exercise. And I think over time, it would become a second nature.
Very good. I'll give you an example. Through the process of the ceremony of Samarpan Vidhi, that is surrendering yourself to the divine Dada Bhagwan state, enlightened state, holy surrender ceremony, we will say that. In the ceremony, you came to know that this is pure soul, for example, and this is the packing. This is the packing, like that. So now, every time you see the box, the packing, do you see the pen inside?
Don't.
No, you don't see it physically with your senses. But what does your perceiving power say?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Did
you know that
understand?
it is inside. You are right. You know that it is
Yeah.
inside.
So every time you see the packing, you will know that there's pure soul inside. And you know that, hold on. This is a man-made stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, this is also a packing. But there is no pure soul inside. Because it is inanimate. It is not living. Do you understand?
Yes.
In the same way, anytime, anywhere you come across any living being, let it be plants, let it be animals, let it be insects, let it be humans, let it be animals, and those which are not visible through your senses, but you can understand. That power of understanding is power of perception, which you have perceived that your soul in you in particular. And that's how you understand and perceive the same pure soul in every living being. And by practicing this, when Dada Bhagwan used to conduct such knowledge imparting ceremony, what we used to call as Gnan Vidhi, immediately after the ceremony, he would take those few people, 3, 4 people, because that time there were not many people who would be present in the ceremony. 2, 3, 4. 4 is too many, like at that time. So he would take them along with him in a horse cart, and practical. He would do the practical and say, "Oh, you see the donkey? Yeah, that's packing inside this pure soul. You see the horse? That is the packing. By relative viewpoint, it is horse. Real viewpoint is soul inside. See the mango tree? Say that's the packing, and inside, by relative viewpoint, it is mango tree. By real viewpoint, it is pure soul. A neem plant or a banyan tree, similarly, it is packing. By relative viewpoint, it is neem plant, neem tree, or banyan tree, and by real viewpoint is pure soul. Then, the most irritating part is mosquitoes and bad bugs. They really irritate you. But then it says by relative viewpoint, it is mosquito, and by real viewpoint, it is pure soul. So that's how, that way he would give a practical demonstration immediately after the Gnan Vidhi. And that's how all the new aspirants who got enlightened through him had the practical understanding and how they would view pure soul in every living being. Also said, you are Hindu by relative viewpoint, but by real viewpoint, you're pure soul. You have friends, they are by relative viewpoint, by real viewpoint, pure soul. You have enemies also, people you don't like, several of them, maybe at times. Then by relative viewpoint, he or she is your enemy, or whom you don't like or you dislike. This way, he demonstrated practically how you would see pure soul in everyone. And that's how it made it very easy for those new aspirants who got initiated into self-realization. And then it, as you said, it became their second nature. So that was really good. Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand, Lata, she just narrated how she went through the last week, viewing with two viewpoints, and it was very good experience. He said that as if seeing pure soul in every being around, especially humans who she came across when she visited airport and other public places, that it was so effortlessly that she could see and feel pure soul in everyone. And the day went very well. Jai Sachidanand. Would you like to add? That that's how she went through? And yeah, go ahead, Lataji.
That's true. See, the thing is, it made me feel very good. That is the first thing. It made me that I'm able to see pure soul. And, you're telling with a shopping bag, just see pure soul, just do that exercise. That really helped. I kept reminding myself, initially, yes, every time I see anything, I kept telling myself, you need to see pure soul. And then after some time, what happened is it's sort of, I don't have to remind myself. Now, when you keep doing this exercise, you don't have to remind yourself. Automatically, I think the mind gets conditioned, or whatever you call it, it just comes. And the feeling I got is like, I don't know, maybe I'm imagining. I felt like people were kind of, the kind look on the faces, the nice and the pleasant thing. I could see that. There's nobody looking at you giving a frown. That's something first time I noticed. Nobody looks at, when a person's eyes meet, I don't think anybody frowns at you, everybody is pleasant and nice, plain. That's about it, So as the long and short of it is, it really made my day, I felt good. And that's what happened to me.
Pulinanandji,
I couldn't keep track
apparently the way
Sorry.
she said that it was kind of an imagination. So can you call this as imagination or experience of the self-realized state? Please narrate.
It's not imagine, it's hardcore experience. And as I mentioned also previously, that this is just a slight shadow of the divinity of the pure soul.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. 100%. That's exactly what it is. I remembered that. said that same words last week, a shadow of the divinity, that kept ringing in my mind.
Just a glimpse of it. Now basically two things have happened, you see. One thing is you felt very good. You felt very good. You felt pleasant, happiness, bliss, whatever within you, because we are so conditioned to see the person or the packing, and with each person or packing, we have some associated feelings or opinions, good, bad, nice, wrong, So that is what pinches us, pinches the ego in the ignorant state. Now that you're applying this vision, the Divya Chakshu, the divine eyesight. So what happens is the focus is on the pure soul and not on the packing, the body form. And if the focus is not on the body form, the opinions or likes, dislikes associated with the body form, they don't play a role, or they don't
very true, very true,
affect us, if I may say so. That is why you get the bliss. You are otherwise also very happy, but because of the opinions you are having, like a child anyway is happy because he is not opinionated. He sees anyone, is very nice smile on his face. Right. Something similar has happened. Those opinions have ceased to impact you because you are not focusing on them.
Right.
Number two, when we see anybody with the pure soul vision, it also impacts them in some way. We are somehow sending out some sort of, I don't have words to put.
Exactly, you are right. That's exactly what I felt.
But our vitragta, our vitragta, somehow it just goes over there. Otherwise, whatever opinions or whatever we form, that like, dislike that we form, that those subtle vibrations go and it hurts the other person. And so he's also not too happy with us. It's very subtle, so it's not at the gross level. But when we seize those things and looking at the inside, and when we see the soul within the opposite person, what happens is he also feels good. He also feels good. How, I don't know, but I have observed it. Whenever a tricky file or others also, the moment I see Shuddhatma, he somehow feels good, and the interaction between me and the other person is very smooth. In your case, they feel good, so there is smile. At least there is no frown.
Right.
There's a smile on the face, they are not frowning, and that enhances our feel-good feeling.
Right.
Because everyone likes to see a smiling face. No one likes to see a frown or a unpleasant face. Right. So, which we have never seen people behaving so nicely, and once that happens, it enhances our inner happiness. So, can you imagine what was the bliss Tirthankar or Dada Bhagwan must be experiencing, where he's constantly in the pure soul and seeing the pure soul outside? People are impacted positively, and then imagine how he must be feeling. Because for him, it's almost 24/7 category.
Right.
Pulinanandji, Dada Bhagwan had said that if you remain and view around with the two viewpoints, you will move around like how Lord Mahavira was moving around. So what did he mean by
that? Basically, Dada Bhagwan had said that if you are in my 5 agnas, if you practice my 5 agnas or are in my 5 agnas, you will experience the blissful state of Lord Mahavir. Lord Mahavir had unwavering samadhi, absolute samadhi means
poise,
absolute poise. He was in absolute poise, totally unperturbed by anything that happened around him. So you will be in that state of being. You will experience that poise which Lord Mahavira had experienced if you are in my 5 agnas throughout the day or whenever you are in my 5 agnas. And second thing he had also mentioned was that by practicing the 5 agnas, over a period of time, it will lead you to you becoming like me from the inner state, not the physical, but the inner state. Your inner state will be same as my inner state if you continuously practice the 5 agnas over an extended period of time, some years.
Even with this Kali Yuga karma?
Yes, even this Kali Yuga karma. In fact, these agnas are meant to handle the Kali Yuga karmas. So he has given that file Sambhava Nikal, the squaring of the files. That is precisely for this Kali Yuga, where you will have all wonky files or very uncomfortable files, sticky files coming to you, and you can still remain in a blissful state, unperturbed state. Very sadness. And it's a big thing. In this Kali Yuga, you will experience the bliss being experienced, the poise being experienced by Lord Mahavir. It's unbelievable. Now, this is a glimpse of that. Because, you see, in your case, or in any, we were just practicing the first two acts. So, seeing Siddhartha everywhere and all, you know. So, in a way, it was one-sided activity. You are not in any transactional activity with other person. You're not speaking to someone, you're not buying something from someone, you're not teaching someone, or you're not listening to someone, you know. There is no person at the other end. So moment there is a person at the other end, then the whole transaction is of a different type. In the sense, he will talk, you will talk, maybe pleasant conversation, maybe unpleasant conversation. You're going to the bank and the bank fellow is not responding to you properly, so you get disturbed and then he gets disturbed. So in a two-way communication, little more effort is required. Since it was one way where the other person is not going to impact you, there's no reaction coming from the other person. In such a case, it is little easy to practice and experience the bliss. The thing is, by doing this practice, we get confidence. Yes, this is the blissful state to be in, and we would like to experience more of it more often during the day. Means more hours during the day. So this gives us the confidence and inspiration to do that. Then what will happen is, this same thing will spill over when we are in a conversation with two people, or when there is a person at the opposite end. Animal also, but animals don't we frequently come across. This thing, Dada Bhagwan had said that even if you see the pure soul in a violent animal like a lion, or maybe not a lion, we don't come across lion in cities, but if I may taper it down, if you see it in a snake, for example, or
Scorpion.
Scorpion, then even lizard, then even sometimes we get afraid of big dogs also. I remember one of our Mahatmas in the Zoom only had told the narrated experience of Sarla Ben Vithalbai's wife, that once while she was going around, and all of a sudden a big huge sized dog just came across and almost pounced on her very close, and she was little taken aback. But she remembered this to see Shuddhatma. And she immediately kept saying Shuddhatma, and then that fellow just went away. You know? Dada also has said at a different point of time with somebody that if you see Shuddhatma 100 times in any of the violent animals, say tiger, lion, he will go away. His wildness or attacking tendency will just cease or drop away.
Violent tendency.
So this is the power. This is the power of seeing Shuddhatma. So your experience, as we had put it in, that we are going to practice this, is a one-sided, where there is no reaction from the side. When we extended it, where there is a person at the opposite end, person or animal, I just narrated what happens. But if there is a person at the other end, and you see this, it will also tone down if there is a sticky interaction. When they are unpleasant, he's not talking very properly, he's talking rudely, he's not replying, or not, some type of thing happen. So it will tone down, number one. Number two, even if it is not toned down, it will not hurt us to the extent it would have hurt us had we not used this vision. Had we not used it. So the benefits are very immense. And this is the starting point of Purusharth, where we have to do it, and then it will become automatically, or large cases will become automatic. In sticky files, we may have to put it by application of the Jagrati. Otherwise, it's automatic. And see this Akramana. So Akramana, there's a level. We are at one stage where we have got initiated. Then we are practicing the Agnas. Then over a period of time, as we practice the Agnas, a time will come when it will remain with us. the agnas will automatically operate effortlessly. That will come after years, huh? After some 11, 12, 15 years, not now. And what is that journey from this place where we are to that place where it is automatically? That is a process where our discharge karmas, our discharge Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh are gradually tapering down. They're coming, popping, giving their effect and going away. Coming, popping, giving their effect and going away. So they're sort of getting exhausted. The discharge kashaya, discharge moha also is getting discharged or executed or played out rather. So it's a process. Now you cannot accelerate that process because karma A will happen at one point of time and the next karma B, C, D will only play out at that respective points in time. What I have to experience at age 40 will only come over there. If I'm going to meet an accident at age 50, it will only come at age 50. If there's going to be bank robbery at my house at age 55, come or a lottery or a happy house, whatever. So events are also time framed. So they will play out accordingly. But during the play out of any type of event, good, bad, or even normal, suppose no great event occurring, but the playing out of my anger, pride, deceit, my likes, dislikes, my rag, dvesh, that is what will get diminished if I am in this state of awareness of Panchagna, of awareness. So as those diminish, like, or simple terms, as those karmas or those kashais get executed or reduced, then the soul light remains in that enhanced state. The coverings are basically getting unveiled, and because of that, that Jagrati or awareness remains steady and remains steady without any effort of the awareness. Awareness are there to counter the coverings, I went a wonky file, see Shuddhatma, okay, I'm out of it. Or do file or do Sabmavanika. So when all that get exhausted, then it's automatically remaining in that state. So we have made a beginning of what we are going to experience without application of the agnas because they are inbuilt. So from this state to that state is our journey of Purushartha, wherein we are elaborating on the first one. Oh, yes.
Vijayaji, would you like to elaborate your experience of the last week, seeing 2 viewpoints?
Jai Sachidanand, Mahatma,
Jai
Jai
Sachidanand.
Deepakanandji, Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji. Yeah, for the applying the first 2 agyas for this week, one of the main things that I noticed was any kind of that emotional baggage that I've been carrying, like some things which happened in the past or some things which usually you would go back and something it would bother you, or any kind of emotional baggage.
Can you narrate one example? It will elaborate the situation and give a good picture of your experience.
Yes, emotional baggage is again when suppose someone said something to you which at that point hurt you a lot. Very simple like that. And at some awkward point, it comes back to you and you say, oh, like previously that was an emotional baggage which I was carrying. And then now by applying the first 2 agyas, I was able to very successfully see the relative self which had to go through that and then separate myself from that. So I was definitely able to do that. And I think because of that, I'm now trying to anything that has bothered me in the past, like anything because we often think about the past. We think about the past a lot. So anything that has been bothering you. So now I'm able to go back and try to do that, like try to apply these 2 agyas. And I think this week that was my exercise.
Very good.
And I thought it really helped.
I'm just trying to understand. You were trying to go back, see some events that have occurred in the past, and see the Shuddhatma in this person.
Exactly.
To offload the baggage.
That is the baggage which I was carrying, which has been hurting me.
Past memories.
It is usually a bad memory. which has hurt me. And then now I'm able to look back and see, okay, because I'm able to apply those first two agyas, I'm able to see that didn't actually concern me at all. The relative self had to go through that. And so now it is no longer bothering me. I realized that. So I'm really able to, come to terms with that. So that I think has helped me.
So if I may just rephrase your experience, the bad experience which you had with some person,
yes,
that other person's maybe speech or action which had hurt you, which you still remember, what we call as known, and then now that it's keep on coming to you in now, you keep remembering that. So there you are now using this first two agnas, that relative viewpoint, it was that real point Shuddhatma, and that that person A has impacted file number 1, that is
Yes.
Relative self, she referred to relative self.
Yes, exactly.
And you expect, and then you are the pure soul, he or she also is a pure soul, and by that seeing her as innocent or non-doer.
Exactly. I'm making peace with that.
Whatever happened is to relative self, not to me.
No, and she also said that she had to pass through it.
So that means you separated Saila from this, na?
Yes, I'm able to separate it now.
Exactly. Because of the separation of Saila and you as Shuddhatma, not you as Saila, you as Shuddhatma. So because of that separation, you feel very relaxed and very unable to accept it without any bad feeling.
Yes, it no longer bothers me. It is just a memory of Sailia, that is it. It is no longer bothering me or anything. So I think that is a very big thing I noticed this week, because I'm trying to practice that. So
I tell you, it's a very, very good experience.
I was very happy.
First time that I'm listening such an experience from someone who has applied to these agnas on a past episode and cleansed that memory.
Yes, I feel because we carry a lot of baggage.
You have, sort of erased the hurt that you were
it's no longer hurting.
Basically, the hurt that you were carrying inside has got erased,
Yes.
Or it has got cured or healed. Rather, the hurt has got healed, if I may say. The hurt
it's just a memory now, that's all.
No, that's a wonderful thing. And at least for a woman, to forget past experience is a big, big challenge.
Yes.
That is the very big challenge. Where women let go of things, let go of past hurts is a very big challenge. Men forget,
very
but
tough.
women don't forget
Very tough.
easily.
Yes.
And I think it's a wonderful experience worth even sharing with other Mahatmas.
Yes.
Application
I think that because most of the time,
on the past memories and healing the past scars, if I may say so.
Yes.
I'm hearing it for the first time. Wonderful experience.
Yes. I was very, that's why this week I felt that was a breakthrough for me. So I felt very, very relaxed after that. Yes.
Excellent experience. Very good.
Very good experience.
Yes, Sachidanand.
Thank you, Sailia. Jai Sachidanand, Dr. Lalita Ji.
Jai Sachidanand. What jadoo are you, Aptaputras, reweaving? These people are making geometric progression.
Only Dada Bhagwan.
Dada Bhagwan, right?
We were just crawling along, even to get the concept in our head. And these people are making leaps and bounds in just a few weeks.
That's amazing.
Wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that.
I will just try to
add that. Can I just add?
Yes,
Lalita-ji. My exposure, though I got Jnanvidhi only recently, but over the last so many years, I have listened to Lalita and Satsang with Radha, and it's not just overnight. I mean, for how many years? And I think it's not that, as though one day there is a transformation. No, it's something I have heard for a very long time. The chance of getting a Jnanvidhi just happened only recently. But then, the chance of being able to, come up is only because of, I think, the grace of Dada Bhagwan.
Absolutely. So it is like you had been listening to the experience of the self-realized Mahatma, and it was lucky that you had Dr.
Absolutely,
Lalita
absolutely.
as your sister-in-law, right? So that's how that experience culminated into your experience. Yeah,
Very true.
that was what Lalita was telling all these years.
You
Very
know,
good.
See,
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel just by going by the past history, just purely my conjecture, that Radhe and Alita ji, whenever they used to come to India and to your house, they used to talk about satsangs. Deep down, they had a burning desire that you take advantage of this gnan, you get acquainted or get benefit of this gnan. You know? They had this burning desire deep down within them, you know. That's why they were always making it a point to talk something or the other. You were not in a very receptive mood, but you were not in a very rejective mood either. So you just, so it just kept coming to you, it just kept coming. But what has played a part is their intense desire that you get the benefit of this. And at some point of time in your life, you also felt a need for some solution which was troubling you worldly. In worldly relations or worldly matters, somewhere it went beyond your control and you did not know what to do about it. Some suffocation level had triggered, and you were looking for some solution here and there, maybe praying to Dada. And that's how this our trip triggered, and then you got Gnan Vidhi. So the accumulation of, you know, they were wanting to give you, but you were not in the yes or receptive mode. The day worldly problems triggered, you became receptive. This was ready. You opened up, attack karke it went in.
Pulinanandji, Shiva was willing to marry Latha, but she was not ready. So Shiva had to wait so long.
you're right.
And even more thing I would like to add, as Dada Bhagwan had said, where people used to ask him, Dada, what is the difference between those self-realized people who got realized several years back and those who got realized very recently? He said, whoever remains in the Agnya, he or she will have the experience of Dada Bhagwan.
Right.
So, Dr. Lalita, don't be under the impression that you've not been in the 5 man. So, everyone have their journey, and it is her journey. So, fine. It's not that we're not experiencing; we're also experiencing. But that's wonderful. That is wonderful. And then I believe when you listen to such experience itself, opens your experience. You get a good push, good force.
Yeah.
That that's what it is. Pulinanandji?
Yes, perfect. You know what? It inspires us or sort of motivates us that even I should do something now.
Yes.
Even I should start running.
Yeah.
I have Meera, 1 minute. Let me just go
Oh,
ahead.
please go, Auntie. Go ahead, Auntie. Don't. I can wait.
We had an experience when Ram was like 5 years old. We had gone for my father-in-law's Shraddh to Chennai, and we had just finished it. And then Radhe went to visit some family friends. He took Ram. And at that time, they had a dog that was tied, you know, and everybody was busy talking. This little kid wandered to the back, and the dog was ready to eat. And Ram just sat face level with the dog, and he considered him a competition and bit him in the cheek, you know.
I remember. Yeah.
And everybody in the house was up and down, up and down. Kaisa hua, kyun hua? Right. And neither Radhe nor I, we said, Dada, you take care of this. And later on, his brother-in-law, his Vanoi, you know, said, Radha, who's this Dada? How come you two didn't panic? But everybody was shouting and screaming, you know, everybody. My parents, his mother, his brother, his sisters, aisa kaisa hua, you know. And we just bundled him, took him to the doctor, you know. They said, even though it's a house pet, give him the shots, you know. And that was it. We didn't turn a hair. And that was the impact. I'm talking about 89, you know. Family noticed. this is the jnana that you guys have received. I just wanted to share.
We have received.
Right.
We
I
all
meant
have.
us.
Excellent.
Go ahead.
Nice.
JSS Meera, go
Jai
ahead.
Satchidanand, Jai Satchidanand Mahatmas, Jai Satchidanand Pulinanandji and Deepakanandji. I wanted to tell my experience, which is very similar. I took Jnana very many years ago, and when I first got Jnana, that the Agnyas 1 and 2 were very, very powerful. I could see it constantly. Then suddenly, and I've asked Deepakanandji over the course of many years about how this cloud, and Shailesh Anandji, how this cloud comes. Suddenly there's a cloud and you feel like you're seeing this big cloud and you know first Agnya and second, but you're not able to follow that Agnya properly. I used to pray to Dadaji and I used to say, I do my pratikram and I'm so sorry for not being able to follow this because I see this in all of these family experiences that I should see them. It's not an external, but only in family. So the cloud goes, the cloud comes, the cloud moves, and then suddenly the shining pure light comes back. This time I had gone to India and I'd just come back yesterday, actually. I'd gone to India for a huge function. For my father-in-law, and there were multiple family members. Everyone was there. We were all in one space. I had to go. We had to travel to some other space. All of these things. Suddenly the cloud removed because I was praying to Dadaji before I left that I said, please let me see everybody. This is Vivasthit. Let me only see everyone as Nirdosh. I am Shuddhatma. They are also Shuddhatma. Let our interactions be pure and clear. And what happened
Amicable.
was amicable in Sambhav Nikal. Yes. And when I went there, I'll tell you, there are many situations where this Meera in her previous this thing could have gone crazy. I mean, as in literally some anger, internal, external, my physical state was
very
bad.
common with the close relatives.
Very common with close relatives, and there was such barish and everything was muddy and we had to go places and this and that and all. And in that, there was such suddenly, it was like this cooling balm of peace. And I knew, okay, everyone, this is as it should be. This is the correct as it should be. Everyone is nirdosh, everyone, and that word nirdosh I saw constantly also, which is also a kind of like there was nirdosh in some soap, there was nirdosh in some this thing, it was written some all over, and I felt
the brand name changed to Nirdosh.
yes, and it was good because it was, maybe, I don't know if it was a brand name or it was like a tie line to something, I'm not sure, but that peace, that sense of that cool, calm, in despite all of the chaos that goes around, was amazing. And that was, and I fell at Dada's feet in my heart and said, thank you. This was the way. But each time that, like I said, when I first got Jnana, I felt it with such like fire, and then the clouds came, and each time the clouds removed, it came. So I'm hoping, as Lali Aunty was saying, over the course of time, that instead of these clouds that come, that it is constant. That's all that I pray. Jai
Very
Satchidanand.
good. Jai Pulinanandji.
You see, that brings us to a little interesting point in our journey to moksha via the Kram route. Initially, the excellent feeling that we get seeing 5 agnas and all, because that is the grace of Dada Bhagwan working, and where the pure soul light has come out for the first time, so it's impacted us over. So the initial months or years of this thing is happening by his grace, not by our purushart. And that intensity is so high, so even those whatever events, then they don't impact us. But over a period of time, our sticky files come up, our karmas come up, as you said, clouds come up, you see. And we were in the bliss of that pure soul, which we had got by his grace and not by our effort. So there was no effort on our part. So when this cloud started coming by discharge karmas, and because there was no effort, the effect of the clouds started coming on us. Had we done this purushas along with that parallelly, which is not easy, I'm just saying, none of us do it, then the clouds would have not impacted us. But this is the journey. Anyway, for all of us, this is the journey. The clouds will come. Only and only when the clouds come will we do our purushas. Because we have experienced that pure bliss and we seek to come back to that state of experience, you know. Once you have tasted that sweet meat, you feel like going back to that sweet meat. So that is the motivating factor or the driving force for us. That I want that good experience. Hence, I will fight against the clouds, for which I will use the 5 agnas. You know, so that is the journey that our ego goes from blissful state to cloud state. He panics over there, then again he goes to 5 agnas, so that he again comes back to that experience. This is the journey. And in your experience, without saying so, you have mentioned one very subtle point, that we will do purusha today. We will do purusha when we are going to encounter uncomfortable situation or sticky fights. Supposing you were to go to India to meet one of your very good friends and family friends and all, on a nice little vacation for a trip to some hill station, you know, then I'm very sure none of this would have applied. Because you're not going with any pre-planned focus and strength. Dada, give me the strength to remain in Shuddhatma, give me the strength to settle the files. No, you would have not prayed for it. You're going for, you're enjoying, and you really would have enjoyed also. None of this thing would have happened. So, now, what is the phenomena that is happening? The phenomena that is happening is that when you are to go in a comfort zone, if I may say so, you are going with people whom you are anyway comfortable. There is rag, there is no dvesh, there is no discomfort. Then the discharge antaratma state has a tendency to remain in with the file number 1, you know, in our Buddha state. It's natural. We are otherwise remaining 100% in my name bearer state. If Dada Bhagwan pulled out and said, no, you are really pure soul. But that natural tendency will be over here only, because this has a very powerful effect. The clouding effect is very powerful. You see? So if you are gone in a place of comfort zone with people comfortable around you, you would be in this position. You would be in the Pudgal. You would not experience any of the bliss. You would experience the relative happiness. Now, because you know this side there is no happiness, all sticky files and everything will go against your wishes, then you have to do the adjustment and compromise. They are going to rule the road. So you said, Dada, please help, please let me Shuddhatma. Please see, the words you used was, let me see everybody Nirdosh. That means you already had hard feelings. You already knew that they are wonky. You already know that they are the troublemakers. So in your imagine, they are culprits. They are not Nirdosh. They are doshi. They are culprits. What with the bombardment of all these Zoom satsangs and all? No, they are Nirdosh, because Dada Bhagwan has said they are Nirdosh, so they are Nirdosh. And then you will say, Dada, please let me see Nirdosh. How? I don't know, but I want to see Nirdosh. So that effort that you put in, indirectly, you are anchored in your pure soul state, you know. There is no scope to come out, because outside you go, no one is going to talk good with you. Nobody is going to comfort with you. Nobody is going to behave the way you want. You are the ones at the adjusting end. So there's total pain outside. So by force, you are inside. And you are saying that you're fervently praying, let me see Nirdosh, so that my buddhi, my intellect doesn't pop up. He did like this, not talking to me properly. I brought so many gifts, but they're not coming with me when they want me. Major things that the intellect would have pointed out by way of inappropriate behavior at their end. You put a form there, no, dhyan nirdosh, hook up by group dhyan nirdosh. You have not applied any scientific reasoning. How dhyan nirdosh? You just put a blanket thing there, nirdosh. You see? And that blanket thing worked as an insulation, and it did not impact their behaviors to you, because you put that barrier, dhyan nirdosh, khalas. No scope for the intellect to raise its voice. Full and final. Moment dhyan nirdosh, khalas. big hammer down. They are Nirdosh. Fata. Anything happens, they are Nirdosh. Fata. Anything happens, it was just cutting, cutting, and cutting. And that is why you felt very nice and thankful. Nothing happened to me. I'm just putting it, your experience in the Gnan terminology.
No, correct, correct. And anytime I felt anything, Pulinanandji, in that scope of those many days, those many experiences, I did fatafat pratikraman and said, okay, I'm sorry if I've moved away from that thought, that belief, that anything that I should not add, that you are anything but that blanket statement of Nirdosh. That's it. Anything. Yes. Yes.
So it is a good thing. It's a good thing. And that experience has reinforced your belief that everybody really is Nirdosh.
Everybody is only Nirdosh. Yes.
See,
yes.
It's a very good thing, a very good first step, and it has enhanced. Okay, next time anywhere I have to go where I know they are Nirdosh and I should use the same tool, they are Nirdosh beforehand.
Yes.
And it will work. So it's a very good thing. Then gradually when more such incidences happen and this thing gets firmly imbibed into you, you will then try to get a hang of how really they are Nirdosh. Today, you have taken Dada's word sacrosanct and applied it without any logic, understanding. At face value, you have accepted and you have found the results fine. 2-3 times down the line, you may like to understand, really speaking, how they are Nirdosh. On what basis did Dada Bhagwan say they are Nirdosh? What was that pure understanding? What was that pure understanding, you see? It'll take time. We will cover up in the Satsang if required. Because the concept of seeing Nirdosh, it's a little elaborate affair. Wonky behaviors is an effect, but of which cause, where, how?
Yeah,
I'm just putting a little light on experience is excellent. Carry on. We will at time elaborate it. Carry on. Don't worry. It's an excellent experience. Okay.
Yeah, Jai Satchidanand. Just to put it in a brief, that such strong resolution of the following of the third Agna of Vyavasthi, that is seeing everyone innocent, Nirdosh, just this resolution has resulted in opening this experience so very nicely. So on the face value, you are seeing them innocent. What Dada Bhagwan has said, that will stop you from doing anything wrong. Any mistake, stop you from committing any mistake. And eventually, as Pulinanandji has nicely put it, it will open complete picture of the real and ultimate cause of that suffering, that karma. How did it happen? Like what happened to Lord Mahavira when he was hit in his ears. That pain immediately opened that light, and he saw that so many lives back, this mistake was committed, and this is the outcome of that mistake. So now this person is absolutely innocent. So it is like complete answer, complete equation. But Dada has given his conclusion straight away that, okay, everything is vyavasthit, everything is happening as per the natural power. So power of vyavasthit, so everyone is innocent, everyone is nirdosh. But we can say that even with that application, everything subsides and you can stay peaceful and absolutely ineffective without spoiling or damaging your inner feelings at all. And ultimately, it will open that complete experience, how that person is 100% innocent. Wonderful. Jai Satchidanand. Give you 5 minutes more if anybody have any question that we can. Or Dr. Lalita, would you like to say something?
No, I want to know that other thing whenever he's going to talk about that.
Apart from that, you should have told Rani to just come for half an hour at least.
I'll have her watch this. This will be on YouTube, right?
That's not. We want to listen to her experience.
I agree. I agree. She's, what can I say? She's in other company and probably can't get away.
Fine. No, that's okay. I was just asking for it. That is
She'll
at
be
least.
there Tuesday. I don't know. Hopefully she'll be there Tuesday. But
Yeah,
she's
never
returning
mind.
here Wednesday. I'll have her.
So I believe we will continue because what Dada has said, these first two agnyas are actually crux of the total experience. And if we really view with the two viewpoints, then it will result into a great experience. And we can, as Dada has said, that you move around like Lord Mahavira as he was moved around. I would like to add that the way Lord Mahavira left his home, renunciated and started his journey, Dada, through this surrender ceremony, self-realization, Gnan Vidhi, our journey, that same journey has started. He was without family and we are with family, but the same journey has started. So the same experience is going to open in all of us gradually, and let it happen, and we will share each other's experience so that we get boost from all. And it will really foster and strengthen our experience. Rather, I will say open our experience. That's great. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Pulinanandji, three mantras you all will follow.
Namo Vitragay.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Uvajjayanam.
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam.
Namo Doi Sava Sahunam.
Eso Panchana Muktaro.
Eso Panchana Mukharo.
Sava Pavapanasano.
Sava Pavapanasano.
Manglanancha Savvesem.
Mangalancha Savesam.
Padmam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand.
Jai
Actually,
Satchidanand.
just to inform, we concluded today 3 days retreat on a young couple retreat and parenting. It was a wonderful experience. We will share next week. And we continue with the following of the first two agnas. And please journal your experience so that we can get detailed information and picture of your experience. Thank you. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.